I should mention the controls. You want to change them immediately. I'd say immediately. So here's why.
Immediately, not even in the game, just, yeah, so change everything. Just change it. Change it. In fact, copy my keybinds. Because the original ones are not good enough. I've run into a couple games like that, where like the keybinds are just not good, and you have to change everything before game. I think the worst part about that is the only way you find out that the keybinds are doo-doo is if you're like me. You just start the game, and then you realize it's just not functioning the way you want it to, and you look at the keybinds, and you're like, oh. I feel like it's acceptable to come to Mandy when I want to learn of a game I've truly never heard of or seen, because what is Brigador? All the support on last week's Mandy video really listed a bunch of wonderful recommendations, so I decided to pick one at random. What he has in store for this isometric tactical action game, I have no clue. Definitely a lot of destruction though. So, before we're blown to smithereens, make sure you hit that like and subscribe, and let's get into it.
Great leader is dead.
Great leader is dead. Sounds of a mech walking. Well, that is what it is.
Must fall.
Ooh, shiny. I like it. That's a lot of. That's a lot.
Welcome, Brigador.
Wow, what an opening. Thank you, Mandy, in advance.
Brigador is a wonderful game. It was largely written off at release, and today maybe that can be fixed a bit. Brigador is a real-time tactical mech game. But even calling it a mech game is debatable since you can ride around in tanks or in anti-gravity vehicles. The game takes place in the Outer Rim planet of Novo Solo on its biggest city, Solo Nobre. It's essentially a space banana republic with all the fun things get attached to those. It was founded as a corporate mining colony, but taken over in a revolution by—
What is a banana republic? What is a space banana republic? What does any of this have to do with bananas? What? Bananas? Why is that such a topic of conversation as of late? I have talked more about bananas in the past 48 hours than I have my entire life. Why? Bananas. What? Is it because it's crazy? I don't get it. Maybe it's flying over my head. I don't know.
Like, with all the fun things get attached to those. It was founded as a corporate mining colony, but
Wait, did that say death?
A space banana republic with all the fun—
Chiquita Brown faces new death squad. Oh. Is that why bananas? I think that might be bananas. That's probably why bananas. Okay. I get it. I understand now. Why?
Fun things get attached to those. It was founded as a corporate mining colony, but taken over in a revolution by the enigmatic Great Leader. It's been many years, and now Great Leader is dead. The very night he dies, the original company offers contracts to warriors living on Solo Nobre.
Why is he
destroy targets of interest and pave the way for a corporate invasion to retake the planet. Brigador has a story campaign with a very useful tutorial built right in. As far as the story itself goes, it's mainly a backdrop, and you are safe to ignore it. That doesn't mean there's nothing worthwhile in it, but I'll come back to that much later.
Is it
the
just
freelance
really
missions
long?
may be the heart of the game, but it is worth going through the campaign once. Like, yeah, no shit, the tutorial's a big help. But campaign missions make you choose between a few preset loadouts for each mission, so you'll get to try tons of vehicles and weapons to find what you like.
Nice.
So since we are on tutorial stuff already, I should mention the controls. You want to change them immediately. I'd say immediately. So here's why.
Immediately, not even in the game, just, yeah, so change everything. Just change it. Change it. In fact, copy my keybinds. Because the original ones are not good enough. I've run into a couple games like that, where like the keybinds are just not good, and you have to change everything before game. I think the worst part about that is the only way you find out that the keybinds are doo-doo is if you're like me. You just start the game, and then you realize it's just not functioning the way you want it to, and then you look at the keybinds, and you're like, oh. Because I don't look at the keybinds beforehand unless I'm trying to look for a specific key, like a toggle to speak or something like that. So maybe that's just me, but I typically find out that a game has bad keybinds already after I started the game. I feel like that's everybody, though. I don't know how everyone else functions, though. Maybe I'm alone in that. I highly doubt it, though. I can't be.
The controls. You want to change them immediately. I'd say immediately.
Immediately.
So here's why. Glancing at early gameplay trailers, you might think that this was a twin-stick shooter, and it wasn't. But if you fire it up now, it plays a lot like one, so what happened? Well, Brigador is actually designed to run tank controls, which are relative to the vehicle. The current default is screen absolute. That means pressing forward always sends you towards the top of the screen, and all movement directions are relative to the screen. This does make it easier to pick up and play for the first time. However, Brigador has a lot of nuances that'll hurt you in the long run if you do this. Screen absolute means you don't need to think about where your vehicle is facing that much, which is a bad idea when the game has a directional damage system. Shots in the rear hurt more and you're training yourself to walk ass backwards without even thinking about it. Beyond that, not every mech has a top that can spin around like a tank. So turning around on screen absolute means you might go in a direction you didn't want and you end up fighting with the controls.
Oh, that's not
good. The tank
good.
scheme can be trickier and make your first half hour or so awkward, but in the long run, it's well worth it. Of course, it can be set for a per vehicle basis, so if the speed of some of the anti-gravity A-grav vehicles is too much for you, you can keep that on screen absolute. Well, if tank controls are the chosen way, how come the other one is the default? It's because players saw the trailer, thought it'd be a twin-stick shooter, bought it, and when it wasn't, they refunded it. The developers then released the free Up Armored Edition update. It had new missions, maps, mechs, and pilots, but also included the new control scheme. Well, it was always there, but now it's the default. So why change what you designed? Well, it didn't sell well. At all.
So the interesting thing about that trailer is that it's a very good trailer for a different game.
A different game?
No, stop it. That was a great trailer. Please stop feeling bad. Okay, control disclaimer.
I feel bad when devs have to come out and they're like, you know, there's something wrong with the game, but they come out and they're always so sad, and I feel bad for them. But like, constructive criticism is good. It's not anyone trying to like beat you down and cancel you and ruin your entire livelihood and all of your hard work. It's just, hey, you know, this is really hard to play. I thought it was this kind of game. Maybe you could fix that. I'm sure there was some mean refunds like, yeah, this game isn't at all what I bought. It's a scam, blah, blah, blah. Which hurts. But constructive criticism is good. And I always feel bad seeing sad devs. Don't be sad. You're good.
No, stop it. That was a great trailer. Please stop feeling bad.
I'm with Mandy on
control
this.
disclaimer out of the way. Let's talk about the look of Brigador. Because not only is it a gorgeous, crisp-looking 2D game,
it does look very
everything
pretty.
blows up. Every single thing.
All the things.
Just looking at the maps give me that same warm, fuzzy feeling I have looking at something like Tiberian Sun. Most of the maps are dark, but accented by really unusual colors and lights. If you're into cyberpunk
nice.
cityscapes, I'd wager you're gonna like the look of things. I mean, what war cemetery would be complete without a strip club in the middle of it? The sheer amount of art assets and details all these maps have just blows my mind. Then you can knock everything
That's a
down
lot
and
of
see even the
detail.
debris has a lot of care put into it. There's an art to destruction, and it's being mastered here. There's even an official game speed option if you want to see all the destruction in super slow-mo. So the levels are wonderfully unique and detailed, whether they're intact or
want
not.
that.
But then we have all the vehicles. Brigador has nearly 60 playable ones, so that's not even counting all the enemy-only vehicles. Please, let me drive the Leviathan. I would do terrible things to drive the Leviathan.
I want the Leviathan!
But anyway, while the mechs and vehicles may look 3D, they're actually 2D. The original models have been baked down to two-dimensional sprites from a ton of different angles. So they keep all that 3D
That is
detail, but don't look out
really
of place in a 2D
smooth.
world. There's a huge variety of vehicles, and the factions have
Wow.
excellent visual theming. The conflict for Solo Nobre has three major
thought they were
players.
3D.
First, you have the Loyalists, which are the remnants of Great Leader's regime. These are your traditional, practical, and professional military weapons. If it looks angular, competent, and designed to kill, chances are it's the Loyalist vehicle. Then you
Okay.
contrast that with the Corvid Rebels. Imagine an entire bad neighborhood getting up, walking to yours, then punching you in the face for trying to bring out the garbage. And I don't mean the people, I mean the real estate.
What?
Corvid mechs are cars, farming equipment, and other junk that are somehow going toe-to-toe with military machines.
Oh my god. So it's literally like rednecks. Just a bunch of rednecks thrown together, whatever works. And it's just kind of working out. It reminds me of one of the episodes in Love, Death, and Robots where it's just like a bunch of farmers fighting aliens. I forgot what they were. But they just had like this farm equipment turned into big giant mechs, and it was really cool. But also they were just farmers. So it's like, this definitely, yeah. So one is actual military and one is just the rednecks. You know what? I'll side with the rednecks. There's a lot more whimsy and fun stuff. Fun stuff.
Corvid mechs are cars, farming
Sufficient.
equipment, and other junk that are somehow going toe-to-toe with military machines.
Somehow.
Tanks that lose to a tractor, or a party van. Or the treehouse, which is just a mobile junkyard. The thing is just so
fun.
tall that it can fire over anything but the steepest cover. This thing has a shield generator, it's hard to knock down. Also, it has
Nice.
the best horn in the game. Using the horn is very important to establish dominance, remember that.
Oh my god. Ooh. The
I
heavy
can
metal
happily
horn
report
is
the
the
party
best.
van does live up to its name.
It
Though it is
is
hard to
a
control
party
holding
van.
the horn down, that's just part of the challenge.
Whee!
Last up are the spacers, hedonistic raiders who spend near all their time in zero-G. If it looks aerodynamic or like a moon rover or really any other kind of 70s or 80s idea of
Spacey.
space exploration, there's a good chance it belongs to the natural matter-fearing nerds. When they're not living
Okay.
out their psychotic fantasies in space, they're attacking human colonies.
Why?
As we all know, living in debauchery requires adequate funding. They're incredibly different
Why?
groups. No unit type is shared between the factions, so let me give an example. I can't think of anything better than the suicide enemies.
I love a crowd.
Oh. Oh!
The
Hi.
Loyalists, being the semi-professional army they are, have repurposed starship torpedoes to lob at you.
That's
they may
lovely.
be slow, but they'll also never stop hunting you down. The
Yeah,
spacers
they're
have cloaking swarms of
homing.
autonomous drones for the job. They're more technologically advanced, so more likely to catch you, but they won't do the same explosion that a torpedo would. So that just leaves the Corvid Rebels. They go with a more organic, DIY solution. They charge at you with spicy TI-83s. So you need to be a little bit more cautious approaching
That's
a
the
crowd.
better way.
I don't want to get into gameplay
Spicy TI-83 is, I feel like, more reliable in a weird way. I don't know. What do you think? Random homing slow missile that doesn't really hurt that much but still hurts? Or hand thrown? You'll probably die if you're the one holding it, but that doesn't mean you're not gonna miss. I'm just saying, you could make it. Do some damage.
So you
It's
need to be a
worth it.
little bit more cautious approaching a crowd. I don't want to get into gameplay too much yet, but yeah, it is a great looking game. It nails a unique retro future style with really sharp looking graphics.
It really
and if you thought
does.
the visuals were good, wait till you get to the music.
The music is already been great. I wonder who worked on the music. That sounds great. Very loopable. Very future cyberpunk. Yeah. It is definitely like a spacey, cyberpunk, futuristic feeling game, which is really nice. They nailed that with the ambiance, the art, and, well, even the music. That's so cool. I've never heard of this game, but it's exciting to learn about it, right? I don't know, it looks really cool. I'm curious about what the lore is, even though you said you could just like completely ignore that. It doesn't really matter. I'm still curious about that. I'm always curious. If there's lore involved, I have to know because I want to know and it's a need. It's a need. I'm sorry. I need it. Give it to me. Please, Mandy. Please! Give me the lore! Yeah, this is a great BGM. You know what goes great with a great BGM? Gamer subs. Use code SID for 10% off. Why not? You get to vibe out. I'm gonna take a sip, actually. Ooh, pretty. I like the titles for them too. They Roman packs.
There would be times when I just stop in my tracks and listen to the music.
That's
It's all done by
signs of a
making a
good
band
game.
reset, and there's some top-tier synth and electronic music in it. Tracks can range from being calming and ethereal in between missions, which are reminiscent of something like Vangelis, but then you'll be in a fight and you'll have like this 80s synth center stage song kick in. Then it feels like playing an action scene in a peak John Carpenter movie. That's not to say the music is derivative, because it really stands out on its own. It's
Yeah.
80s, Miami Vice, synthwave, cyberpunk.
Futuristic space
I don't know, but I
stuff.
want to get it on vinyl. The music isn't being used to hide shoddy
want
sound
it.
effects either, because the combat soundscape is also wonderful. Every so often the music slows down, you can really appreciate it. Or you
Good.
die.
Oh. Yeah, that is how you appreciate it, huh? Ooh. That is good sound composition. Wow. That is such a banger!
The If you have really nice speakers or headphones, you're gonna get a lot of mileage out of it.
Oh, I
You know how a lot of
already
people
did.
will say that the new Doom game's like a playable heavy metal album? Well, in that
That's what
same
I
vein,
hear.
Brigador is a playable electronic album.
Oh, it sounds so cute! That is really cute. But now that Doom has been mentioned, I have a confession. I never played Doom. Never. Not once. Ever. Was I around? Of course I was. Have I played it? No. I'm sorry. But I do know the story of Doom, roughly. He gets mad because someone kills his bunny, right? Yeah, he brought up Dune. I don't know, maybe it's the music. I felt compelled to share with you one of my darkest secrets. I never played. But also, to my credit, I don't think I've ever made a Doom joke either. So, yeah, I've never pretended like I did. Which is good. I know a lot of people that pretend. Don't do that. Just play the game. I should take my own advice.
So, in short, it is some kick-ass presentation. It's hard to do it justice so briefly. So now let's actually talk about the game and how it's the ultimate stress ball. Some mech games can be about
like
the
a
horror and
rage
futility
room,
of war and how it harms
but in
innocent
your computer.
civilians. The true costs of human life. In Brigador, if you step in a civilian, you get $50. As I mentioned before, everything in the game can be shredded. You're paid for everything you break, which isn't always a lot, but you get paid. There's no such thing as a collateral damage penalty here. Everything is free game. Of course, your
that's
primary objective
awesome.
and payouts don't come from blowing up Grandpa's gas station. The company wants the planet back even if it's barren, so that means taking down strategic targets. You have the orbital guns that take down encroaching spacecraft, the substations for the power grid. You get the idea, there's no revolution without property damage. Missions
there
always
isn't.
have primary targets for atom rearrangement, but there will typically be
We
many
need
bonus
to.
targets around for you to break. That means more fights and more danger since you can't save in a mission, but you get a higher payout.
Oh, you can't
More money means more
save?
stuff to buy for
Ooh.
freelance missions. You can get new vehicles, new weapons and equipment, or a new mission contract. There are a huge amount of pilots to grab as well, and playing as them will modify the missions. While a campaign mission is just that, a mission, a freelance
mission,
contract
but
might
there's
have
lore.
1 or 3 or 5 or 7 or
That's a lot of money.
39 missions in it. So a pilot can affect how much harder the missions get between each other and the max payout. The final step is
see.
going on the precursor James Wild ride. Maximum payout for maximum suffering. That closed casket special is no joke. Or you can sit back, relax, and tear up the town with a man who wears a paper plate for a mask.
Yeah,
It's all
I think I'll do
satisfying, and
that.
it comes from how polished controlling your vehicle is.
Billy
It's
Joe.
fast and responsive even on the larger vehicles, and you always have a lot of room to look around. But you still have that weightiness of it being a big war machine. Like the weapons occasionally pushing your big walker back. You do move fast, but once you're firing, you have to push through your own recoil.
That's
There are so many vehicles to
awesome.
master and so many different weapons.
You can see this game was made with love. I love it. I love this amount of detail. And look, there's no... Wow, I love it. I don't think well, the only problem, quote unquote, was the controls. Having to instantly, like, rebind them. Everything else is amazing. I have a hard time believing that the models are actually just 2D models. But also, in the same token, as someone who used to work with sprites a lot and made their own, I believe it. But it's like one of those things that's like, it's so mind-blowing, I'm having a hard time believing it. Like, you mean in this day and age where 3D is so common, that's actually 2D type thing. Nah, I don't believe it at all. That has to be 3D. Just, wow. Adoration. Admiration is an even better word for it.
Move fast, but once you're firing, you have to push through your own recoil. There are so many vehicles to master and so many different weapons you can put on. Sure, you have the traditional big cannon or continuous energy beam or machine gun, but you have more unusual ones too. You've got cluster mortars that can clear out an entire street with a single shot, railguns that can punch through all kinds of surfaces,
I
the
like
gamma rays that in the
railguns.
cannon cause super cancer, or how about the corrosive
nice.
gas canister launchers? And this is just a few of the weapons, you still have the special equipment on top of that. There's a sonic audiokinetic pulse that'll just flatten anything in a cone. There's an EMP launcher which shuts down the enemies and the entire city block. You get the idea, there's a
Nice.
ton to play around with. It should be no surprise that the combat's a ton of fun. Even using
Yeah.
the quote-unquote mundane weapons is still great to play. When shots
Well,
rip
yeah,
through
they're
enemies and
fun.
everything around them, it's hard not to have a good time. But you don't always have to go in guns blazing. You can also try a sneaky approach. Stealth and the noise you
Sneaky?
make is a big part of the game. I mean, it's a real-time tactic game after all. All the enemies on the map don't just swarm to you while you kill them. If you're out of the enemy line of sight, they'll be on patrol or stay parked. But
Wait,
if you have a
that's
very loud weapon or blow up
awesome!
something like, say, an ammo depot, then they'll all come running to see what the noise was. So a big vehicle with big weapons will pull in a lot of enemies when it fires off, while smaller vehicles are quieter and can hide behind buildings. Quiet
That's
weapons means you can
awesome.
bamboozle the enemy by blowing up a fuel line, and they'll all run over to investigate it. Then you can go after your real targets. For combat, it's nice to line up a vulnerable flank or rear shot, but there's also an alarm system to the game. This can make playing as a small vehicle living hell if you're not careful. There are many spotter types of enemies, and if they see you, they'll start to call in an alarm. You only have a few seconds to kill them before it goes through, so your best bet is to kill them before they see you. Alternatively, you can take down communication towers. That'll put their
That would
phone
be
call
my
on Time
first-
Warner hell for longer. He doesn't know.
Time Warner.
Doesn't know. If you do get caught, your life becomes a lot harder. All enemies on the map, including parked ones, will activate their shield generators. Then a horde of enemies will start beelining it to you. While all of this is happening, giant walls and security barricades will activate. They even lower down to let enemies through, just to really rub it in. They're gonna stick around too, at least until you blow up the district substations. So why would you ever be a dinky suit of power armor over a walking war crime? Well, pilots aren't the only thing with multipliers around here. The tinier and more pathetic your ride is, the higher the cash payout. So when you go,
Really?
is that an auto rickshaw? Why is it so expensive? This thing is a death trap. Why would anybody... Oh. Risk and reward.
The
A string of
payout.
freelance missions is a bit similar to a roguelike. By that I mean there's enemy randomization and a
Gotcha.
few things get moved around here and there. More importantly, if you die, you lose nearly all your earnings up to that point. So you need to properly and calmly exit the human rights disaster zone. When you're playing between these districts, you don't regenerate your hull, shields, or ammunition. You can collect shields from fallen enemies, and every so often they'll drop ammunition as well.
Oh, wow.
Shields from enemies are reliable, but for ammo you might need to stop by a depot, which is also a target.
So it's kind of like almost a bit of like scavenging going on. You go in, you're locked and loaded, but as you're there, well, if you're not, SOL, you gotta tiptoe out. That's a really cool thing. That's a cool mechanic. I like that. I wasn't expecting that with this game. I genuinely, at first glance, I thought it was just, you know, shoot it all, rage room for your PC, get your anger out here. But no, seeing that there's like actually risk and reward, and you have to actually think about what you're doing before you do the thing because, well, you might die. Now it's less of a rage room and more of a tactical rage room. You have to think before you do. A rage room with possible consequence.
But you're struck. Shields from enemies are reliable, but for ammo you might need to stop by a depot, which is also a target. But your structure, she's never coming back. So sometimes you make a choice. If you're low, you go to a district with a spaceport and try to escape early, or you keep going and hope for that big payday. There are
Keep
solid
going,
mechanics
man.
here. So what's wrong with it? I don't know how
I
to
don't
put
know.
it, but basically nothing. I mean, there's one
Really?
mission from the campaign where you're supposed to have no ammo, but when you play it in freelance, you do have ammo. But that's more of a bug or an oversight. You might think it's a grindy game, but it's not. If anything, it's remarkably generous and you can get what you want pretty fast. All the usual
Nice.
suspects that would plague a game like this are nowhere to be found. I have no real problems with Brigador. That said, I can definitely see where some things could be improved. The pilots are cool, but I wish they had more quirks. I don't know, like maybe
Yeah.
one can turn really fast, or they go in high-speed reverse.
Oh,
Or
that
maybe they
would
don't
be
reverse at all
cool.
because they're not a coward. How about every
True.
enemy is a suicide enemy, but double speed and health? You know, just a bunch of new modifiers make me playing a
Yeah.
mission more interesting or fun. There's more to add, but speaking of interesting, let's talk about the writing a bit.
Chapter
Oh.
1.
I'm reading.
The hissing of pistons, the whine of servos. Armor-shod feet rhythmically stomping.
Weighed down.
by the brute power of a railgun. All of these were things he enjoyed. The Buckmaster.
Okay, you might expect the writing to be really basic fluff, but no. There's lore.
A
There's a
lot
lot
of
of lore.
lore.
Such a heavy weapon.
The story driving the campaign is bare, that's fine. I'd even say that's expected for a game like this. Yet the writing and world building is so well thought out and well realized that it blows my mind. Like, what is this doing here?
Really?
Most of the writing comes from the views of in-universe characters, so you're also getting interesting perspectives on everything. Lore tidbits are one of the things you pay for, and I'd actually say they're worth it. It's
Really?
strange because I wouldn't normally say a game like this needs more story, but what is here in such a dry state is so good that it makes me wish there was more. I don't think the sequel
Nice.
needs elaborate cutscenes or anything like that. It would be cool to have some of that rustic, home-style Ace Combat chatter, though.
That would be
Turn back,
cool.
Brigador, or be destroyed by those loyal to great leader.
Just for the campaign, let you hear people lose their shit over the radio. I should probably mention that the sequel isn't hypothetical.
Have that be a
Brigador
setting,
Killers
though.
is coming of
Because sometimes that can be really repetitive and annoying, and it's just nice to play a game without someone in your ear going, "Hey, leave! You finished! Hey, leave! You might die! Hey!" Like a Navi. I like Navi. Don't get me wrong. I love Legend of Zelda. But that is, you know, a character that a lot of people found annoying because she did say, "Hey," a lot. And half the time, you really didn't need to talk to her or consult her. So have that be an option for people to toggle on or off. That'd be cool.
Hear people lose their shit over the radio. I should probably mention that the sequel isn't hypothetical. Brigador Killers is coming eventually, but it might need help. As I said before, this game failed to launch. But Brigador has still been getting completely free updates for years.
Oh, that's
and
so
somehow
nice.
they're getting started again. This has killed me inside, so there are some special circumstances here. First of all, I contacted the Polish Information Network. It'll be 60% off the entire weekend through the pinned link. The second part I'm only going to ask sparingly, because the last time I did, the results were downright terrifying. But if you bought Brigador and liked it, leave a positive review on wherever you bought it from. This ain't a review bomb, it's a review boom. So that about does.
Apologies for the intrusion, but the connection past the core systems is dog shit, and there's no telling how long it'll be before my signal fries on these third world computer parts. Brigador is truly a great game, and I've come only to humbly double endorse it as such. Those of you disappointed in my unusual brevity on it can look forward to a more substantial inspection of the sequel if it actually happens.
Acquire Brigador.
There's no telling if the sequel will come because anything can happen. Brigador is a great game, and it's always broken my heart whenever I hear about it. So give it a spin. I highly recommend it. As for the next video, I have some ideas. 4 or 5 of them. Actually, no, I only have one idea. I'll see you then.
Okay. Thank you, Mandy. I appreciate you. And it was nice to see Seth, too.
I wanted to do a Brigador video a long time. I honestly thought it'd be shorter because I've had so little to complain about. Truly a great game. Any interest in the Command & Conquer remasters? I haven't played the new one yet, but all my friends say it's really good.
Never heard of
I'm more waiting for something with either Tiberian Sun or Red Alert 2, but both those games look great in OpenRA. So whatever they visually remaster probably won't be as dramatic as this one.
That's such
Are you a fan of From Software games? Oh yeah, the old Kingsfield stuff and Armored Core, all of that, definitely.
Never played.
Yeah, I like Demon and Dark Souls and Bloodborne, but I haven't played Dark Souls 2 and 3, so I am behind. Don't be expecting a Souls video here though, because there's plenty of those out there. Trust.
Do it!
You have the internet. You've seen them. I know you've seen them.
You can do it.
What's been your way to keep sane and healthy during all this?
You don't.
Can this be like a group question for the class? I mean, I'm doing okay, mainly staying inside waiting for the second wave to kick off. But there's definitely been a lot of frustration with some friends and neighbors the past few weeks. It's fine. I have the coyotes anyways. I'm gonna think of it. I haven't heard from them in a while.
Uh-oh.
Huh.
What kind of horn? Thank you for tuning in to another Neko Reacts. So, did you try Brigador? Did Mandy convince you enough? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, please leave a like and subscribe to the universe, and I'll see you in the next one. Mata!